there's a difference between listening and synthetic listening. So there's a type of listening where you're just listening so you can say the next thing. So you're listening to someone so that, because you have a preloaded response and you want to talk, but you're just letting them talk. And maybe they'll say a key word or trip on something that allows you to say the thing that you want to say. So you're not really listening. You're kind of pausing long enough for them to say something that allows you to spring in, right? It's something that's such a pressing issue and a problem. They teach classes on this, right? On like how to actually listen to someone. The traditional it's an art. It's a lost art. The traditional CRM system, I see more as that type of listening. Because basically, like we said, what are we listening for? We're listening for triggers. I'm listening for a trigger. I'm listening to know if you bought something. That's the event integration I want. I need to know if you bought something so I can send you a thanks for your purchase email. Or I need to see that you clicked something or you did a certain action that elicits my specific response. So that's why I listen. I listen because I'm waiting for you to trip on something that I can therefore send a message right away. So when you have a conversation with somebody, there's a series of tests. This is kind of normal, right? I say, hey, how's it going? What do you do for work? And maybe that's a dead end. I'm unemployed. Oh, bummer. You like sports? No, I don't like sports. Oh, bummer. But I'm not asking because I'm trying to trip so that I can fire off my 20-minute monologue. I'm trying to figure out what you're genuinely interested in so that we can have a meaningful conversation.
A good conversation can't be one-sided. So you can't, you're a crappy conversation partner if you're just waiting there for them to trip the wire you've set out so you can then go on your monologue. At the same time, you don't want to be in a conversation where you're just sitting there the whole time going because all they're doing is dumping their conversation on you. A conversation is a negotiation. And the challenge with traditional CRM tools like Braze stuff is that there is no negotiation. If it's whatever you want as a business, that's what we're doing. And it drowns out the customer. But at the same time, you don't want something where the customer can drown you out because, as we've already talked about several times, like you need to run a business. Like you're not just there to listen to them. You have priorities. You have things you need to take care of in order to stay in business, in order to keep delivering value to all those customers. And so the way messaging should work is it should strike a balance by facilitating this negotiation between our best understanding of what customer preferences and wants are, as well as our best understanding of what the business priorities are. In a regular conversation, that's fairly easy. I mean, actually, it's not fairly easy. We already established it's really hard, even in just a one-on-one conversation, to strike that balance where you're really actively listening, where you're participating, where everyone's being heard, where someone's not talking over someone else, stuff like that. As soon as you're dealing with 100,000 customers, like there's no way to use a regular conversation model to do that. You have to have a system that can automate some of just the mechanics of it. And that's why it's one of the several reasons why we built AMP, was that we realized not only is there the necessity, if you're going to have a real negotiating conversation with your customers, to have some of that automated away, is that so much of it is just so inherently automatable. There was lots of stuff that wasn't being automated, and it can be, and it has been. And that's where I think I guess I already said at the beginning. I think your model of a conversation, that is what messaging should be. It should be a conversation, a real one.